Hey everybody, this is Dylan. I'm in Washington, D.C. because I follow Elise here for a food conference that she's attending, so I thought I would just come along for the ride. Here we are at the White House. Here's where the president used to live. Now I'm pretty sure it's just vacant. Here is the Museum of African American History and Culture. This is by far the most amazing museum I've ever been to. When we were here last year, Elise and I, we waited in line and managed to get tickets. They're free tickets, but they're hard to get. And we went one day, and then the next day Elise was working, and I waited again and came a second time. So I don't really usually set up in front of people that are able to watch me filming myself, so this is pretty awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, let's do a Q&A really quick. So we had a question about batch cooking and what kind of batch cooking I do. I think batch cooking is fantastic, but not to be successful eating healthy. I don't think you have to batch cook. I think it just depends on your personality type. So if batch cooking is something that works for you, that's great. I love to make batch cooking videos like the salad video that I just put up, pico, things like that. I like to make in really big batches. Cheese sauce I like to make in big batches because then I'll just be able to throw it on whatever. But I don't necessarily always have big batch like recipes all put together and in the fridge ready to eat. I like to have the big batch stuff be like the sauces and stuff because I don't have tons of time or desire to make everything for the whole week all at once. I like a little bit more, I guess, surprise. So I'll make my big batch staples like cheese sauce or whatever, like I said. So, but if you like big batch cooking for everything, then by all means, that's fantastic. It's certainly the best way to ensure that you're not going to run out of things to eat and then make a bad decision about food. So if it helps you stay on track, then by all means, you should absolutely big batch food prep. Let's move on. Am I SOS-free? No. Not everything that I eat and not everything that I make is SOS-free. My cheese sauce, for example, has miso. Sometimes I put a little bit of salt in my pico. Actually, I really don't do that very much anymore. I usually only add salt at the table, or when I make oatmeal, sometimes, not always, I'll add, like, I swear it's not more than a teaspoon or two of maple syrup to a big bowl of oats. Whether or not you're SOS-free, I think depends on, again, your personality. If salt and sugar are a trigger, obviously I'm completely oil-free, except for some exceptions. Like last night, we ate at a vegan restaurant that was terrible as far as oil is concerned. And I felt like just awful immediately after. I hate eating oil, but sometimes we do it. Normally I'd get an Airbnb with a kitchen and I would buy a few things like beans or whatever at a little market on the corner, which they have many of those here in DC, and then I could cook pretty good food, and then we'd go see the sights instead of having to go to a vegan restaurant and eat oily food. So you got to be careful with those vegan restaurants. Just because they're vegan does not mean they're healthy. In fact, it pretty much promises you that they are not healthy. So back to SOS-free, if eating salt, sugar are a trigger and cause you to go off the deep end and eat things you shouldn't eat, then maybe you're going to be best on completely SOS-free. I've kind of gotten into a groove where I can have a little bit of added salt, not very much, a little bit of added sugar, again not very much, and I can maintain my weight, maintain my health, maintain my motivation, not go on a bender, etc. So you have to decide what's best for you. You may be, if you're working on weight loss, maybe you're doing it in stages. You're not totally SOS-free, but you are oil-free, and you're doing whole food, but you're still doing a little bit of salt and sugar. That may work for you. And then as you plateau, maybe you get more strict, whatever. There are so many ways of going about this. You just have to be honest, do your 30-day or 60-day experiments, and then reassess, reevaluate, do the next 30 days until you figure it out. I did that for probably 6 months, just different 30-day things until I figured out what I was able to really stick to in order to find just my groove and what I maintain and what I do consistently. What else? Knife sharpening. Oh, I got a comment about using a bench scraper or the back of my knife when I'm scraping all the food off the cutting board, like in my salad video, my last video. I don't like doing that. The bench scraper takes too long because you have to set it down each time, and so I'm done with that. And then the back of the knife, because it's not sharp, it doesn't get all of the small diced up food very well. So I like just using the blade, scraping it. It makes it dull, but guess what? I sharpen my blades all the time. Like, if you're sharpening your knives, which you have to if you're going to chop things like we do, like tomato skins, which are tough to get through, etc. You got to sharpen your knife often anyway, and it only, you know, the amount that I've lost by scraping the knife on the cutting board has cost me, what, an extra 10 seconds of sharpening, so I'm good sharpening my knife and scraping it all over the cutting boards. Lindsay asked, do I feed my dog a vegan diet? I do feed our dog a vegan diet. She's on the natural, what's it called? Natural balance, I forget what it's called. I can put a link in the description of this video, but it's a vegan kibble. I'd like to do more homemade from scratch, like Instant Pot dog food. I've seen lots of videos on that. I've tried it. She hasn't liked it right off she's liked it a little, but I need to like actually transition her. You can't just feed your dog homemade food and then expect them to love it overnight necessarily. And she didn't love it overnight, and then I got lazy and didn't try it again, so she's still on the kibble, the vegan kibble. But I would be down to give that a better shot. But I'm not, when she goes elsewhere, or stays with someone else or whatever, I'm not telling them what to feed her. She just eats whatever, wherever she is. But when she's at our house, yeah, she's vegan. Terry asks, do I supplement with any vitamins? No, well, B12. Watch my interview with Dr. Klaper. He answers the question about supplementation. He talks a little bit about B12. He talks about vitamin D. He talks about DHA oil. But all I use is B12. But check out that interview for more information about supplements. And soon, hopefully, I've been putting little snippets of that interview, like about caffeine and alcohol or about salt, oil, sugar, up. I'll snip out the part on just supplements that he talks about, and I'll post that as a separate video too. I'll try to do that as soon as I can. Great question. Oh, and also, so I've been doing a lot of weightlifting. I haven't really made much video about it because but I want to do a before and after video soon, but I don't want to show my body on camera that much, but I'll do it. But what I'm getting at is I've been weightlifting without supplements, all totally whole food, no added protein or any BS like that. So I really want to show that you can gain muscle just by eating a lot more calories of whole starches. It's been hard eating a lot more calories though, because I never eat breakfast, and if I'm gonna get the calories that I need, I really need to get up and eat a big bowl of oatmeal, and it's hard for me because I've gone pretty much my whole life skipping breakfast, but I'm working on that. Susanna asks, what starches will you grow on the farm? Well, I am not sure. I would really like to grow starches. I want to grow potatoes and beans and stuff like that, mostly just for experience though. I don't think that they're a very good money maker, so I probably won't try to sell them and commercially, if you will. But I would love to do it and know how to do it because I just like the challenge and learning new stuff. So at some point I bet you I'll take it on, but it won't be in a large scale fashion like I would with leafy greens and some of the more specialty items. So yeah, I'm gonna do an update video. You've seen some of my posts in the Facebook group about the solar that I'm putting on the farm, and then some of you said, what is this farm? We don't know anything about it. So I am going to do an update video. I have lots of really good footage so far, and I'm gonna keep going, and that'll be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that, and I'll tell you all about the farm project that I'm working on. Okay, Mary asks about travel tips for SOS-free. So that was kind of back to what I said about Airbnb. When you travel, try to get a place that has a kitchen, or a hotel that may provide you with a microwave, or take like Chef AJ, I've watched her videos, she takes an Instant Pot with her, or you could take an induction burner and a pot. I mean, it depends how strict you want to be or you need to be in order to maintain the lifestyle for you. If you need to be super strict like Chef AJ, then do it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking your gear so that you can travel and stay healthy. So no problem with that. But if you don't have gear, like we didn't bring this time, and I said I ate at that Poison restaurant last night, it's hard. So we'll try to go to little grocery or markets to snack on throughout the day. And then at dinner, we'll usually go to a vegan restaurant. We like going to the vegan restaurants to see what people are doing, and then we'll try to order oil-free-ish, but it didn't work out last night, and I don't know if it's gonna work out tonight, but we'll see what happens. Mornings tend to be easier if you stay at a place that has breakfast. They might have oatmeal that's not cooked with milk, but with water instead. Fresh fruit, that's pretty nice if you stay at a place like that. So there's one meal you could check off. And then snack for lunch, and then figure out dinner, and you should be able to get by even without gear. If you know a little bit about where you're going, you can try to get oil-free stuff from restaurants, but though that is never fun to try to modify things to be oil-free. And you certainly can't really modify them to be salt or sugar-free. Yeah. On the airplane yesterday, I had posted in the group about what the snacks that I had. I had a bag of little cherry tomatoes, I had a bag of nuts, I had a bag of freeze-dried garbanzo beans, or you could do the oven-roasted garbanzo beans like Kathy Fisher does in her Straight Up Food Cookbook, or on her blog, which you can check out. You can get a recipe for that for free if you just search for it. What else did I take? I had some Lara bars, but I don't think I ate any of them. I'll maybe use those for the trip home. And so it's not too bad. We often take potatoes on the airplane, and just in a big bag. Those don't have any trouble getting through security. And then I always say that I steal the hot sauce packets from the junk food restaurants in the terminal. Haven't done that in a while, but it's there for you. That's not SOS-free because they're going to have salt in them. Anyway, that's pretty much it on how to travel and eat well. It's not easy if you're going to really be strict and do it right. It is not that easy. Anyway, that is all the questions that I had on this video. I'll be back in Phoenix in a few days, and I'm going to do a farm update video like I said. It'll be coming along. By then, I'll probably have the roof on with solar panels up there, at least some. So, wow. It's going to look a lot different from anything that you've seen in a previous video about the farm. Stay tuned for that. Okay, that's all for now. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.